So you want to buy a casino, find a building, hire the dealers, watch the chips roll in. But here's the strange part. A casino is the only legal business on the planet where math guarantees you a profit on every single dollar that walks through the door. And it's also the business where the smartest, richest operators on earth keep going bankrupt anyway. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how that's possible, how casinos actually make their money on the inside, why having a mathematical edge on every single bet still isn't enough to guarantee a profit, and why a casino isn't really the kind of business most people imagine it to be. Casinos come in three sizes, and they're really three completely different businesses. A small regional casino in Colorado will run you $2 to $5 million. For that price, you get a few dozen slot machines, a couple of tables, a bar, and a parking lot full of locals showing up on the first of every month to lose their grocery money. A mid-sized property costs somewhere between $500 million and $1 billion. Think of the Borgata in Atlantic City, which opened in 2003 for $1.1 billion, a genuine hotel, real restaurants, and customers driving in from neighboring states. And then there's the Vegas Strip, where the price tag starts getting absurd. The Cosmopolitan opened in 2010 for $3.9 billion and remains the most expensive resort ever built on the Strip. But the building itself is only the beginning. There are two more costs nobody warns you about. The first is the license. In Vegas, that runs around $770,000 a year. In New York, simply applying costs $20 to $50 million with no guarantee of approval. You're essentially buying a lottery ticket where the prize is permission to spend a few billion more dollars. The second cost is geopolitics. Macau, in southern China, is the largest casino market on Earth. $28 billion in revenue in 2024, more than 3 times the entire Vegas Strip combined. But the Macau government issues exactly 6 concessions for the whole city, and the next round of bidding isn't until 2032. Or you could try North Korea. Kim Jong-un is currently looking for an investor to finish the Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang, a 105-floor building they started in 1987 and still haven't finished 38 years later. Pay for the interior and you get the casino license. Estimated cost, another $2 billion on top of the $750 million already sunk into it. Even the most isolated dictatorship on the planet understands that a casino is essentially a foreign currency vacuum with a roof on it. Now to the question that actually matters. Where does the money come from? Every game in a casino is mathematically rigged, not in a cheating sense. The cards are real, the wheel is honest, the dice are clean. It's the rules themselves that are rigged. The structure of every game guarantees that the casino comes out ahead of the player over time. Always. The industry calls this the house edge. Here's the easiest way to picture it. Imagine you and I bet on a coin flip. Heads, you win $1. Tails, I win $1. That's a fair bet, 0 edge. Now I change one rule. Heads still pays you $1, but tails, I take $1.05. Same coin, same flip. But now, on average, I keep 5 cents every time we play. Boring on a single bet, catastrophic over 1,000,000 bets. That 5 cents is the house edge. Every casino game is just a different version of the same trick. Roulette is the cleanest example. European roulette has 37 numbers. If you bet $100 on a single number and win, the casino pays you $3,500. But the actual odds of hitting your number are 36 to 1, not 35 to 1. So you should have been paid $3,600. That missing $100 is the house's cut. Looks like nothing, but multiply it by 1,000 players a day, every day, for 30 years. Now look at American roulette. Same wheel, same payout, same rules, except they added one extra slot, the double zero. By adding a single pocket, the casino doubled its edge from 2.7% to 5.26%. The player at the table can't tell the difference. The math notices every single time. But roulette isn't where the real money lives. The real story is slot machines. Slots run a house edge of 5 to 15%, and here's the part that breaks people's brains. The cheaper the machine, the higher the edge. Penny slots, the ones grandma feeds her change into all afternoon, run 12 to 15% per dollar wagered. Statistically, grandma is the most profitable customer in the entire building. She's giving the casino 30 times more than a millionaire playing blackjack at the high-limit table, where the edge is just 0.5%. That's why the moment you walk onto any Vegas Strip casino floor, the first thing you see is a sea of slot machines. In 2024, slot machines alone brought the Strip $4.9 billion, more than every table game combined. So that's the math. Now the architecture. You've probably been inside a casino. Notice anything missing? No windows anywhere. No clocks on the walls. The carpet patterns are subtly designed to pull your eyes upward towards the slot machines. The walk from any table to the exit deliberately passes 10 more rows of slot machines, just in case you have anything left in your pocket. The industry has a term for all of this: engineered immersion. The goal isn't to win your money once, it's to keep you inside, with no sense of time, until the math has had enough time to do its work. And then there's the most surgical customer retention system ever invented in any industry: the Players Club card. When you walk into a casino, they hand you a free card. You insert it into the slot machine or hand it to the dealer, and from that moment on, every bet you make is tracked. From that data, they calculate something called your theoretical loss. Bet $10,000 over an evening at a 5% edge, and your theoretical loss is $500. The casino then gives you back 5 to 10% of that number: a free dinner, a free hotel room, a free drink. In 2024 alone, Vegas Strip casinos gave away $4.4 billion in these comps. They didn't lose that money, they invested it. Every comp is a calculated expense designed to keep you in the building so the math has more time to work on you. And at the very top of this pyramid sit the whales. Roughly 0.1% of all casino customers account for more than 25% of total casino revenue. 1 in 1,000 customers generates a quarter of the entire industry's money. A good example is Dana White. He plays $25,000 a hand at blackjack, won $2 million in one weekend at the Palms, came back and won another $1.6 million. The casino banned him. Caesars and the Bellagio still let him play though. Why? Because the rest of the time, whales lose enormous amounts of money. The math always wins eventually, and the whale always comes back. That's why a casino will fly a whale in on a private jet from anywhere in the world, give them the penthouse for free, and send a personal chef to their suite. Spending $500,000 to host one whale for a weekend is entirely rational when their expected loss is $10 million. So here's the entire revenue model in one sentence: house edge, multiplied by volume, multiplied by time, multiplied by repeat visits. Everything in the building exists to maximize one of those four numbers. So with all this guaranteed math, billions in revenue, and customers essentially engineered to lose, why do casino owners still lose money themselves? The short answer is everything else. Out of every dollar of gaming revenue, about 70 to 80 cents is gone before you see any of it. A typical strip casino runs on a 25 to 33% net margin. So out of $1 billion in revenue, you keep around 250 to 330 million. Where does the rest go? About a third disappears into payroll. A strip resort employs 3,000 to 8,000 people. Another large chunk goes to taxes. Nevada is relatively friendly at 6.75% of gaming revenue. Macau takes 40% off the top. Pennsylvania takes more than 50% on slots. Then there's the stuff most people never think about, the costs that come from a casino actually being a casino. A Vegas property has more cameras per square meter than most prisons, with every table, cashier, escalator, and parking spot under 24-hour watch by a dedicated surveillance department that does nothing else. Then there are the cards themselves. Every strip casino swaps in fresh decks at each table every 4 to 8 hours to prevent marking, which adds up to millions of brand new decks thrown out every single year. The Bellagio keeps more than $150 million in physical cash inside the building at all times, and the insurance and logistics for that alone cost millions. Drinks pour by the tens of thousands every day, not out of generosity, but because a slightly drunk gambler bets bigger and stays longer. And drunk gamblers fall, fight, and lose money they decide must be somebody else's fault, which is why casinos get sued more often than doctors and pay liability premiums that climb every year. The math gives you a guaranteed top line. Everything below it is a fist fight. And that fist fight is where most casino owners lose, following a small set of repeat patterns. Casinos fail for plenty of reasons, but two mistakes show up again and again, and almost every famous casino bankruptcy in modern history boils down to one of them. Mistake 1: too much debt. In 1990, Donald Trump opened the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City and called it the eighth wonder of the world. He financed it with $675 million in junk bonds at 14% interest. Just to service that debt, the casino had to generate nearly $100 million a year before covering any other expenses. 6 months after opening, it missed its first bond payment. By 1991, it was in bankruptcy. Don't build a casino on debt that requires the building to be perfect from day one. No casino is perfect from day one. Mistake 2: the wrong product for the market. This one has killed plenty of buildings. In 2012, a $2.4 billion property called Revel opened in Atlantic City, built for Wall Street executives instead of the usual bus trip retirees. They banned smoking on the gaming floor, skipped the buffet, and skipped the players' club. In the gambling world, that's roughly like opening a fitness club and banning sweat. The hedge fund crowd never showed up, and the retirees they'd alienated never came back. It closed 2 years later, sold for $82 million, 3 cents on the dollar. In 2016, the Lucky Dragon opened just off the Vegas Strip, a $160 million boutique casino built entirely for Asian customers, with Asian language signage, feng shui interiors, and no fourth floor. It turned out Asian high rollers who flew to Vegas wanted Vegas, the fountains, the spectacle, the chaos, not a smaller version of what they'd left at home. It closed 14 months later, sold for $36 million. If you're going to build a $2 billion building, make sure somebody actually wants to be inside it. Step back for a second. The economics of this industry are paradoxical. A casino has the most reliable revenue mechanism in business. There's no other industry where the math guarantees the top line this cleanly. A bakery has no idea how many croissants it will sell tomorrow. A casino knows almost exactly how much its slot machines will bring in this year, give or take a few percent. And yet casino operators go bankrupt at rates that would embarrass a tech startup. Why? Because the math only works at scale and over time. Every casino takes years to pay back its construction costs. The house edge is fixed. You can't raise it in a bad year, which means everything outside the math also has to be perfect. Your debt, your costs, your country, your timing. The mathematical edge is bulletproof. Everything built on top of it isn't. The whole industry is essentially the same trade. Guaranteed revenue against an unguaranteed everything else. Survive 20 years of that, and the rewards are some of the largest fortunes ever built. Time to pull it all together and answer the actual question. How much money do you make if you do this right? 2 scenarios, real numbers. Scenario 1. $5 million in Colorado, a small regional casino. Annual gaming revenue of about $10 million. After all operational costs, your real profit is around $2 million a year, with a payback period of 3 years. Not glamorous, but recession-resistant, the most boring American business with the word casino in it. Scenario 2. $1 billion in Las Vegas, a full strip resort with 2,000 hotel rooms, 100 tables, and 3,000 slot machines. Annual revenue of $900 million. Here's a fun fact most people miss. Only 1/3 of that comes from gambling. The other 2/3 comes from the hotel, restaurants, shows, and conventions. A modern strip casino is barely a casino. It's a resort that uses gambling as the loss leader to pull customers in. Net profit after everything, $250 million a year. Add another $50 million if your engineered immersion is dialed in perfectly. Payback period, 4 years. After that, you're earning $300 million a year. And if you survive long enough, you become something specific. Sheldon Adelson started buying casinos in 1988. By the time he died in 2021, he was worth $35 billion, one of the largest fortunes in American history. His company, Las Vegas Sands, brings in around $32 million in revenue every single day, more than the entire annual revenue of most American casinos combined. So if you do decide to buy a casino, just remember the most important rule of this business. The house always wins. Just make sure you're the house.